Hello Vlogmas day 7? 8. I've been doing this for a week now. Thank you for coming back if you have. Not gonna lie, it's noon. I woke up at 8. And I've just been laying in bed all day, playing games, watching YouTube videos. I just got up, showered, got dressed. My best friend Shelby is currently doing like a craft fair for her side business, and I want to go and explore, so I'm gonna go meet her there, just hang out for a bit. It's actually at the high school we both used to go to, so it's kind of a crazy walk back through time. I debated not going because I was so cozy in bed, but last night I was really excited about it, so I really want to go and show up and support her. Hello! And last year I walked through all the other vendors that are there, and there's a lot of like homemade stuff, like this Kindle case that I have, I bought there last year, handmade, and then just a bunch of like crafty people. So also while I'm out, I'm gonna be boring and do some errands, so I have a return I have to do to Kohl's. One of my Black Friday gifts I got my dad was the wrong thing, so you don't care. And then I might stop by the grocery store or the farmer's market because I have cranberries left from the time that I made cranberry chicken, and I'm debating turning those into cranberry muffins, and I kind of want to do a cranberry orange muffin, so I'm gonna snag some oranges while I'm out. That being said, I haven't really meal planned what I want to do for the upcoming week. I have a lot of stuff in my freezer. I have a whole turkey in my freezer too. I don't know if you've noticed. They were doing a deal at the grocery store where if you spend $75 you get a turkey for free, so I did that even though my parents were making Thanksgiving dinner. So at some point I just need to roast a whole turkey, maybe for their birthday coming up soon because they love turkey. I debated just getting them a rotisserie chicken and letting them go ham on it for like 5 minutes for their birthday, but I don't know if they'd know what to do with it other than Rosie. She would tear that shit up. All right, let's go take a drive and go see Shelby. Hey. Oh, I'm so tired. I feel like my elation over the past 24 hours is starting to wear off. Now that I think about going back to work, I'm like, ugh. The joy truly ebbs and flows. But I just got home from the craft fair. I didn't record anything with Shelby because, quite frankly, I didn't want editing Whitney to have to deal with iPhone audio. I promise Shelby will be featured in some upcoming vlogs. But I just wanted to holler and say what's up to her because she owns a business called Paper Rings Press, which is like greeting cards and stationery and art prints. She was getting a lot of foot traffic at her stall. I'm so proud of her. I'll link her website below if you want to check out her stuff. But while I was walking around there, I had one major wish list item, which was I needed to find some bitch that made freeze-dried stuff because I'm obsessed with freeze-dried milk duds. These are so good. I don't like milk duds regularly because it's so chewy and the caramel is so sticky in your teeth. And for anyone who's not in the US, a milk dud is like super chewy caramel covered in chocolate, but when you freeze dry it, it becomes like caramel cotton candy where it just melts in your mouth. It's amazing. I may or may not have gotten 3 bags of it and ate this just sitting there with Shelby, so love that for me. Also, there was a stand that Shelby recognized because they do a lot of fairs together, but they had little cakes in a jar. They had one that was banana pudding. Yeah. And then they had a peanut butter cup. Yeah. So I got those from her. And then every year I see the same cake pop vendor. So I got 2 of their cake pops. I think it's chocolate and red velvet, but they decorate them. They're so cute. So the only thing I got this time was sweet treats. Oh wait, that's a lie. That's not the truth, Ellen. If my mom is watching this, click off now. But I got her this cute pair of boot earrings with little roses on it. I literally just Venmo'd this creator so you can tell they're like handmade. And then as you saw, I went to the farmer's market afterward. I just got oranges, lettuce, and a cucumber. They had chocolate caramel pecans, what's that called, turtles, and it looked so good and I wanted some, but it was $17 for like 10 of them. So I said no thank you. But I need to chop my lettuce. I've been buying my Caesar salad kits and I totally forgot I owned Caesar salad dressing. So instead of buying them, I'm just gonna chop this up and then I'll make wraps all week with this, and then I'll probably marinate this and do that same whole cucumber hack. Even though this is not an English cucumber, hopefully it's still good. And I've been listening to Orla Gartland all day and it's stuck in my head, but I love her music. And I actually need to eat something substantial because I've been snacking on Dot's garlic parmesan pretzels for breakfast and freeze-dried milk duds for lunch. And also I saw like a childhood friend's family while I was there and it was crazy. I was like, hey girl. It's weird because it's at my old high school that they have heavily renovated. Hi Gordo. They're like, you brought us lettuce and not chicken. So it's very weird going back to my high school and it doesn't look like my high school. But I'm not gonna lie, my energy is waning today even though I did barely anything. I feel like all I want to do is go back and lay in bed. It might be because I slightly have a headache. It might be because I went to bed at 2 a.m. and woke up at 8 a.m. I think it was probably like 3 a.m. So yeah, I'd barely got any sleep. I'm just very self-conscious that this is going to be a short vlog, so I'm trying to be like, let me talk, I'm gonna do circus tricks. I did get a lot of questions on the video that I said, hey, if you leave questions I might read some of them, so I might do that later, but I'm not in the mood right now. I need to chop this lettuce and I don't want to. Everyone says just do what you don't want to do and don't overthink it, but I just want to lay in bed. You know what? I had a therapist comment on my video. Shout out to this user. She was like, the thing you need to tell yourself is I'll do it for 5 minutes and then if I don't like it after 5 minutes, I'll stop. I know that's a good tactic because it'll only take me 5 minutes to wash and chop this lettuce. But still, I'm like, I'd rather lie in bed. I'm gonna do that. 5 minutes. I'm putting a timer on it. Oh my God, she's gonna be so proud of me. Never let anyone tell you that I don't read the comments. Timer, 5 minutes. Let's go. I am including me setting up the camera in that 5 minutes, so this might be a little bit of cheating. We're getting a bed vlog for the rest of the day because that's all I can muster. And I did take a nap, but it wasn't super restful. I just kept having nightmare after nightmare. First it was, I was back in my childhood home and I had my 2 rats that I grew up with, but I was like forgetting to feed them because I didn't know that I had them. So they were just so sad and I felt really terrible. And then the house was infested with rattlesnakes and I was so scared. I had Rosie and Gordo and I was terrified that they were gonna get bitten. And then after that, my mom and I were in New York and we kept getting lost. At one point we went on a ride that we didn't know was a water slide, so we got soaking wet and had to take off our clothes, and then we had to walk through New York City without any clothes on. I don't feel better after doing that. And I knew I wouldn't feel better if I napped, but it's currently 9 o'clock. I need to wrap up this vlog anyway, even though it's been a short one. But I figured you all were very gracious and I saw a lot of comments dropping in. So I'm gonna sort my comments by contains questions and I'll answer some of these. I hope that's okay for today. I don't know why. Again, I know I've talked about this, but I don't know what my deal is today. Everyone has highs and lows. I'm gonna try and not linger on the fact that today was kind of boring. This question says, do you have a favorite holiday tradition that you look forward to every year? Not very much. A lot of you are surprised that I have a sister, which I think is funny. I have an older sister. She and I have never been close. We are very different people, and the fact that I even visited her this year is strange. I think I mentioned this, but it was like the first time that we've hung out without our parents. But anyway, she comes into town for Christmas, so it's one of the only times that my family is together. So that's just nice to have everyone all back together. We make Christmas cookies together, and then my sister loves watching Home Alone, so we always watch Home Alone, specifically Home Alone 2. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a lot of movies, and I think there's more about Christmas that I miss and wish was different than things that have continued. It is what it is. They also want to know, what are you most proud of looking back on this year? One of my biggest issues is it's so hard for me to recognize my own growth and progress, even just remember my milestones. There's a YouTuber that I like who does like 30 things I learned when I turned 30, or you know, like my top 5 lessons from the past year, and my brain cannot think like that. I don't milestone my own progress or whatever, but I mean, my brain wants to go to things that I did that are new. So this is stupid, but like I tried line dancing for the first time, which is new and scary for me, but my best friend loves line dancing, so I went with her. I've been multiple times now, and I think it's kind of fun, so that's a win. Oh, back in April or March, I took a trip to Madrid, and that was very nerve-wracking. I'd never been to Europe before, especially like without my mom. That ended up being so much fun, even though I didn't speak a lick of Spanish. Shelby saved my ass. So I'm very proud of myself that I traveled a lot this year. I think I was in a lot of situations where I pushed through discomfort, and I'm able to reason in my head with myself to get through things, so I think that's a win. I also haven't had a therapist this year, which is new, so being able to get through my issues without a therapist, I'm proud of myself for that. I didn't even think about that until now. This was a very nice reflective question. Thank you for that. Allison said, do you still see your food bank colleagues? Unfortunately, no. There's 2 friends I made at the food bank that was never in my vlogs. It was after I took my hiatus. I still see them, but Ryan and Kristen, who were mainly in my vlogs back in 2019, one has moved away, cry, and the other we just drifted apart. No ill will. Maybe one of these days I'll introduce you to my friends who I still talk to, but they're amazing. Can you tell us what genres and types of books the cats would read? Rosie would be a rocket scientist. Bonnie and I joke all the time that she has like all the knowledge of the universe, but she's just trapped in cat form. So she would be reading like the intense, like the DSM or something. Like she would be a doctor, she'd be a rocket scientist, she would be smart, she'd be solving problems. It would be non-fiction, or if it was fiction it'd be like the war, like Clive Cussler kind of books. Gordo would be reading a Very Hungry Caterpillar and Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I think he'd be into kids books, picture books, those books with the tactiles that you could feel like the furs as you flip the pages. He would be a baby. And Sharpie is harder to place because I only got him like 2 years ago, which I know is enough time for him to develop a personality. But he's very low-key. He doesn't have like a very striking personality versus the others. So that's a great question. Probably like mystery thriller. He keeps to himself. He's a mysterious dude. What are some of your favorite films from 2024? Ooh. So I've only, like, I do not watch movies. I don't know if I've talked about this enough, but I've only seen like 15 movies this year, and a lot of them did not come out in 2024, so I don't really keep up with them. Alright, what all did I watch this year? Obviously I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That has to be the winner hands down, because that was amazing. I saw the Mean Girls musical. It was alright. Oh, I saw Get Out for the first time. I talked about that. That was amazing. I loved it. Inside Out 2 was pretty cute. And then obviously Wicked. And that's like the extent of what I watched. That wasn't just things that I rewatched. Ooh, another Whitney asked me a question. She said, a question I have is, how did you get into copywriting? I'm also an English major, but I took the teaching route. I'm considering an alternative career. I'm gonna be so honest. I kind of regret my English major. It might just be the fact that I'm paying off $20,000 of debt for something I'm not really using. I think I'm cynical because the job market now is also bananas. And I've realized that copywriting as a career is not fulfilling for me because I don't want to wake up and go to a job where I have to be creatively drained of idea creation for content. I want to be able to solve problems and work with non-subjective opinions because writing is so subjective. So I've kind of moved on from wanting to be a copywriter, but obviously that's how I started my career, which was I got an internship, which to this day I have imposter syndrome with it because I cannot believe I was the one selected for that, especially with the the caliber of interns that we are getting now. Like, I was not doing extracurriculars. I was like floating by doing the bare minimum. I lucked out with an internship. And the thing that matters more than schooling is having experience and transferable skills. So if you can do to get experience, you need to be able to say you've done something similar. So if you can freelance, if you can work on a side project that includes those things, if you can like volunteer and work for free for somewhere just to build a portfolio, like showing that you have done it in some capacity is probably the most important thing. And there's probably a lot of online jobs and contract positions or, again, freelance things that you could do. It's a great question. That's what I would say. Okay, I'll do one more question because I gotta call Bonnie, and the Errands tour's final night is tonight, so we're all gonna be watching and crying. But final question is, are you still liking your apartment? I've watched your videos for a couple years. It's so comforting for me to watch you do the house cleaning and cooking stuff. Love that content from you. Aw, super sweet comment, by the way. But to answer, I love this apartment. I was just thinking the other day when I was very stressed about my presentation I had to do in front of my entire team. When I'm laying in bed, it's like the world shuts off. Like, my apartment is my safe space. It is my home. I debated moving out of here a couple years ago because I was like, maybe I can find somewhere cheaper. But I've been grandfathered into a really good rent here. Like, if I were to get this apartment new, it would probably cost like $200 more. And to move somewhere else would be about the same price, but for so much shittier of an apartment and a facility and a community. I love the location of my apartment. I love how quiet my neighbors are. I feel like I'm the loud, annoying neighbor. Yeah, the amenities are amazing. I don't love that delivery people find my apartment hard to find. And it makes me sad because I love using my free stuff Facebook group of just like, hey, I'm not gonna use this necklace. Does anyone want it? It's so hard to give people directions on how to find me. And that makes me sad. But other than that, yes, I adore this apartment. I'm gonna be so sad when I have to leave. When I think about like the future, I can honestly see myself being here for several more years, but it's also probably because I fear change. So unless my rent like drastically changes, I see myself being here for a bit, which is a little bit embarrassing because I don't love the design of this apartment, like my design of it. I'm not really good at interior design stuff, and I want to get a new couch eventually. I need to put art on the walls and shelves. It just hasn't been a priority, and it doesn't, you know, I don't love the way my apartment is decorated. So that's the only thing I'm not satisfied with, but the apartment itself, yes, absolutely. Okay. So to end off this vlog, we got two things. Bonnie did text me while I was doing this, you have 20 minutes to call me because the Errands tour starts soon. Not you texting me, did you know you have 30 minutes? 30. Oh, the point of this is you tell us your update. I forgot, sorry.
Yeah, I was like...
I was like, what are we going to talk about? This isn't just
a... I didn't do much today either, once again. At least I didn't wake up at 5. But last night I did read a little bit more of The Shadow of the Wind. I am enjoying it. Like, when I'm reading it, I'm like, this is a good book. I'm just in a weird mood where I don't want to read. Like, I want to watch TV specifically, and I think it's because I had been watching One Tree Hill for the first time, but I just finished it like a few days ago, and now I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Read a book? So that's where I'm at.
What show are you going to start next?
That's honestly a great question. If anyone has recommendations in the comments, leave them down below.
Have you tried the Lord of the Rings one on Amazon Prime?
I haven't even watched the Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. Let's fix that. Hold on. I gotta scoot so someone can join us.
Hi, Stink.
Hi, buddy. I had a bad dream. You were in it. I was saving you from a snake. For some reason, at some point in the dream, I don't know if it was you or my mom, but someone was like, yeah, Gordo would be the one to get bitten by a rattlesnake.
I mean, true.
He would try and make friends with it.
Rosie would beat that rattlesnake. Well,
Rosie would use it as a lasso. She'd be swinging that thing. Okay. Oh shit, I gotta take my medicine. That's the why I'm recording. I'm out of water bottle in my hydro flask, but I did bring an entire bottle of sparkling lemonade to my bedside.
saying you're out of water bottle in your hydro flask is a crazy statement.
I just woke up.
Gordo wants one of those so bad.
Gordo, you are the last person on earth who needs antidepressants.
The next time you have an empty bottle, you should just put some of his treats in it and be like, okay, Gordo, here's yours.
I do have an empty bottle, and I do have someone in my comments who said they do that.
That looks good, but I don't like sparkling water, so I feel like I wouldn't like it.
It's just like carbonated lemonade.
Oh, interesting. Oh my god, she's an alcoholic, exposing WhittyNovels.
Don't drink carbonated stuff, lay it down. There's so many bubbles. I'm gonna use my last 20 minutes before the Errands tour to try and get in some dinner making, lunch making, get my life together making. Thank you for joining today. See you tomorrow. It's a Monday. Bye.
Oh my god.